Rio Ferdinand was not part of the BBC's coverage of the World Cup opener between Qatar and Ecuador. Rio Ferdinand was reportedly overlooked by BBC for the World Cup opener between Qatar and Ecuador due to his links to Saudi Arabia, it has been claimed. The ex-England defender was due to feature alongside Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer and Alex Scott in the studio before Ashley Williams was quickly drafted in to replace him at the Al Bayt Stadium. Ferdinand has featured prominently for the BBC at the tournament and is now recognised as one of the recognisable British football pundits. However, the Mail claimed the BBC were forced to cut him from their coverage for the first game of the World Cup due to his links to Saudi Arabia amid fears they would be accused of hypocrisy when discussing Qatar's human rights record. The BBC's coverage for the opener was dominated by political issues as Lineker shone a light on the ethical issues plaguing and overshadowing the tournament in the Middle East. While the BBC reportedly denied Ferdinand was cut from their coverage, the report states that BBC executives decided to eliminate any chance of criticism by drafting in Williams in place of the former Manchester United centre-back. Saudi Arabia is another country with a controversial human rights record, and Ferdinand has spent time in the Middle Eastern nation as recently as last year. He was a guest of the Ministry of Investment during the visit when he is understood to have attended a conference called Catalyze Saudi, designed to promote investment opportunities in the kingdom. Ferdinand previously tweeted, "Just landed in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The hospitality so far has been unreal. Just sorted a screening area for the England game later. Phew." The BBC opted against showing the opening ceremony in Qatar, a call that was fiercely criticised by Piers Morgan amongst others. He tweeted, "Outrageously disrespectful to Qatar that the BBC didn't broadcast the World Cup opening ceremony and instead put out more virtue-signalling guff about how awful it is. If they are that appalled, they should bring home their vast army of employees and spare us this absurd hypocrisy." After the opening monologue, presenter Lineker later described the tournament as the most controversial World Cup in history. The coverage also included discussion centered around Qatar's discriminatory LGBTQ+ laws. Lineker later defended the BBC's decision not to show the opening ceremony during their coverage following the backlash. He tweeted, "It was shown live in its entirety on ITV Player, BBC Sport website and Red Button. The timing of the opening ceremony was changed to an earlier time very recently and WSL was already confirmed on it BBC One. If you wanted to watch it, you could." A BBC statement later said, "Full build-up and coverage of the World Cup has been available across the BBC, including the opening ceremony on iPlayer. Argentina will face France or Morocco in Sunday's final at the Lusail Stadium in Doha." Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.